Welcome back, Italian champions. In today's video we're gonna react together to the video made by my friend Football Drone. This video is called What Makes Milan Title Win Impressive, because yes, we're still celebrating, at least in our mind, we're still tasting the victory of Milan Scudetto number 19. So make sure to go on his channel, put a like and subscribe to his channel, because he brings plenty of great content. So no more talks, let's start watching together. Let's go.
It's summer 2018 and Elliott management are the new owners of Milan. But there's a weird twist to this. You see, they didn't just buy Milan. The club just, well, fell into their laps because the previous owner couldn't repay the loan they took for the purchase of Milan. And since the loan was taken from Elliott management, they were the default owners without any intention to own Milan. So yeah, not the most reassuring of times ahead.
Oh shit.
Here we go again.
I gotta be honest, as a Milan fan, I didn't really have...
Very true, but this was all part of the Berlusconi's idea. You know, back in the days they were buying old star that they were almost finished their career, but in the Italian league they can still play really well and they can still competitive, and they bring the name, and more than everything they sell shirts.
Let me tell you something, Milan only spent around 65 million euros on their squad in this title-winning season, while replacing some key players that left as well. This amount is significantly lower than 126 million euros by Juventus and 100 million euros spent by Roma. Milan's total wage bill is 81 million euros, significantly lower than Inter's 140 million euros and almost half of 160 million euros by Juventus. Milan's commitment to not overspend on wage bills wasn't without controversy. Milan decided not to be held ransom for their goalkeeper, Gigio Donnarumma's ridiculous wage demands. So they were more than okay to let this generational talent leave for free and replace him with Mike Maignan from Lille for only 14 million euros, who kept 17 clean sheets in the league this season. 17 clean sheets. That's mad.
Grande Mike.
Honestly,
this is one of my favorite things about this young Milan, is that it's full of young player. It costs less than at least the big three teams in Italy, at least Inter and Juventus. It costs much less. It is very young, has a bright future, has a solid company behind, has a solid management behind. The future is bright. It looks bright, at least.
when Milan lost their starting center-backs Simon Kjaer and Fikayo Tomori to injuries, they decided not to panic buy any players during the January window, and instead trusted academy graduate Matteo Gabbia and a young Pierre Kalulu to step up. Speaking of whom, when Milan signed a young Pierre Kalulu from Lyon's academy in 2020, he didn't have a single senior game to his name. And just a year and a half later, he became one of the most dependable Milan players in the league title run.
Pierre Kalulu, ladies and gentlemen, our idol. Our idol. We need to print something for Pierre Kalulu back here, absolutely.
Despite being only 21, this is a player that Milan signed for only €500,000. Literally 2 weeks of Kevin De Bruyne's salary. And together with Fikayo Tomori, they only conceded 2 goals in Milan's last 11 games, which had the likes of Napoli, Atalanta, Lazio, and Fiorentina in that run. If you don't follow Serie A closely, these are hard teams to keep a clean sheet against. This season, Milan conceded the least amount of goals along with Napoli, which is a further testament to the quality of the young defenders. Key players like Sandro Tonali and Ismail Ben Nasser were signed from relegated teams as young prospects and have grown to become the pillars of this Milan project, with Tonali practically making himself undroppable. Theo Hernandez was a young left-back at Real Madrid. Unable to overthrow a world-class Marcelo, he was looking for other opportunities. Paolo Maldini personally flew to Madrid to sell him the Milan project, and today he's one of the best left-backs in Europe. Rafael Leao was just a young Portuguese forward with only 1 full season of senior football, and today, at 22 years of age, he is Serie A's MVP winner with 11 goals and 10 assists as a winger. Honestly, not a bad journey. But at the end of the day, you can't just stockpile young talent and expect to win. What makes Milan quite unique isn't just the youngest average age of the squad, but the mentoring that takes place between senior players and the young players. Veterans like Olivier Giroud and Zlatan Ibrahimovic provide ongoing mentoring and the leadership for this young Milan team.
And this is a little things that also I want to add. I recently saw an interview of Florenzi that during the last few matches he was he was explaining how the oldest of the team, Giroud, Simon Kier, Ibra, himself as well, they were talking to the teams, explaining, like, trying to calm down, try to give them confidence and go on. The reality is, he said that at the end, he said also that in a funny way, that in a way they were trying to calm themselves down because they were nervous, because they were very aware of what these young players they were doing. So they were like, what these guys are doing is incredible, but don't wake them up. They are dreaming, they are going very fast, don't wake them up, they're doing something incredible. So for him, he believed that these young players of Milan, they didn't even realize what they were doing until they won. They were just playing for fun until they won the Scudetto. Amazing.
Unlike many other teams with superstars, Milan couldn't really afford to bring superstars to the team, and instead had to rely on developing from within. By the way, just a reminder, don't forget to leave a like or comment. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, as a lot of time goes into making these videos. I really enjoy reading your comments. Thank you for your love and support. It's quite often that clubs look for other managers on the market to take them to the next level, even though the current manager is doing alright, and sometimes it succeeds. A prime example is Jose Mourinho replacing Roberto Mancini at Inter, despite the back-to-back titles that were won by Mancini, and Jose Mourinho ended up winning a long-awaited Champions League with Inter. On the other side of the argument, Real Madrid replaced Carlo Ancelotti with Rafa Benitez in 2015. Who does that? And of course that backfired massively. I mean, what did you expect to happen? Anyway, when Milan brought in Stefano Pioli as a coach mid-season, it was only seen as a stopgap solution to the next manager. It wasn't the most popular decisions by the club. Matter of fact, the hashtag Pioli out was one of the most trending hashtags in the social media. While he hasn't won anything as a manager, Pioli has a proven track record in getting the house in order for the next manager to come. And that's exactly what happened. The Milan board was tempted to replace Pioli with Ralf Rangnick as a manager and a director. On the surface, that made perfect sense. Pioli was just a stabilizer, and Ralf Rangnick was a guru who helped the Red Bull empire to grow to what it is today. So yeah, as you can tell, it wasn't the most ideal environment for Stefano Pioli to succeed. The fans wanted you out, the club wanted you out, and you had to deal with broken pieces of a squad that's broken from years of failure. But an impressive 12-game unbeaten run didn't really leave any other option for Milan but to keep their trust in Pioli, and the decision paid off. The next season, Pioli led Milan to return to Champions League after 8 years of absence. And this season, well, he led Milan to a league title after 11 long years. Indeed, Pioli was on fire, pun severely intended. Overall, Milan's league title shows us that while spending money can put you in a better position, sensible financial management, coupled with empowering leadership that develops a team from the inside out, can often lead to successful outcomes. This Milan team is an interesting case study to follow, especially those clubs that don't have the luxury of spending state wealth money. I see strong parallels between Milan and Liverpool in terms of the way they run their football project. Milan still has a long distance to go if they want to get back to their former European domination.
True, but he's about to say but, it's probably... But I remember also that Milan was far away from Inter a few years ago. Very far from Inter. Inter qualified, I think, 2 years before us in Champions League. Inter had a more stable project a couple of years before us. And they spent a lot of money to beat Juventus. Spent a lot, Lukaku, Hakimi, Conte was 12 million years, 12 million euro a year as a wage. They spend a lot of money to beat Juventus. Their glory lasts just 1 year, just one. Meanwhile, we rose slowly, and our next step is going back to Champions League and trying to do our best over there, see how we go there, because that's what we want. Scudetto, it's okay, it's nice, it's fine.
One thing's for sure, the future looks bright for Milan as long as they stick to their values that got them here in the first place.
I think as long as we stick to our principle, we renew Paolo Maldini, Ricky Massara, we keep the same base, we keep the same stability, the same mentality. We do understand the weight of wearing this jersey. We have a great future ahead of us, so let's keep going, keep believing in, and Forza Milan. Ciao.